Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. Today, it's an NFC West battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Let's get it.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And caught left side, Olsen. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down. We documented it last week. They played so well defensively. 4 interceptions. Tried to get their hands on another one there.
And when you've had 4 the previous week, you are just itching for more the very next week. And there was a great opportunity. It went by the wayside, but let's not underscore what's going on with this defensive unit. They are around the ball every time it's being put in the air.
And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the first down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. And you talked to me a lot about opening drives, how keep Tyler Lockett. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Tyler Lockett, his second touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 24. Garoppolo now, first down throw. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. They've got his man complete. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Marquise Goodwin, 76 yards. And the 49ers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Bailey got the extra point, and we are tied at 7. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, long touchdown pass into the end zone. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They've had to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely frees up your guys elsewhere. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the first round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future all-pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
Now Wilson. And Olsen over the middle. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And that little deke, the juke move that we saw, able to give him the first down yardage before he's brought down.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. Baldwin with it over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Baldwin's first catch going to be good enough for a first down.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Wilson. Hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And this is going to be 49er football.
What part do they went empty set there? No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at the 34. After the fumble recovery, it's Garoppolo. He'll rifle this one deep, and that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, 49ers. Marquise Goodwin with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the 49ers are able to strike quickly for 6. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
Yeah, difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
Wilson. And the Niners get there and bring him down. The former Seahawk and former Super Bowl MVP, Malcolm Smith. Tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. DeForest Buckner in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass.
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Frank Clark. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the...
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. They give him a gain of 38.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing.
That's caught inside the 20. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. A big play there for the Niners. 45 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
They get it to him running left. And across the goal line, into the end zone. Touchdown, 49ers. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the 49ers add on to their lead.
Well, Brandon, if we go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator, he showed us his script. Didn't show us everything now. He said, here's the script for the game. I think everything's going according to plan in a big way. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's about as good. That is as good as you can do, I guess. So, well done.
Yeah, well done indeed. Tremendous execution.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Malcolm Smith in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He's got it complete. Mike Davis. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Mike Davis, 83 yards. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who is a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 27. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. He'll rifle this one deep. He's got him in. Complete. The 20. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the 49ers are able to strike quickly for 6.
Brandon, we're not even out of the first quarter yet. And that's his 3rd receiving touchdown of the game. Tremendous job, and I think this might come under the heading of...
Back here with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. We've had the kickoff to begin the first quarter. Now it's time for the second quarter kickoff, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best ones let their teammates know that. They actually take it upon themselves and say, okay, I have to do even more, or I need to play better. Maybe even say, I put my defense in a bad spot. That's what true leadership shows you.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need to change much personally. I know when you got a top tight end like this, you want to get him involved, but when you do, you're hoping for more than that.
You certainly are. You've got to try and get him some space where he can make a play downfield, or at least an opportunity for some rack yardage, right? That run after catch.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue.
And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags, and I believe this is going to be a first down.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
They go play action here on 1st down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Malcolm Smith getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Play action. Now Wilson. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. Looking for Baldwin. Intercepted. Picked off at about the 31.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
They'll start on the ground with Breida. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
Now Garoppolo throwing on 2nd. He's going to rifle one deep left, and this will be caught at the 30. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Go ahead.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Garoppolo going to try and throw on 3rd. And that is incomplete. Give credit to K.J. Wright. He was disrupting defensively.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And no field goal try here from the red zone offense out there. They'll go for it on 4th. They run for it with Breida. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. On 2nd down, Wilson. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down, they have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They go read option with Wilson, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play, because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
They'll begin the drive with Breida. And an alley to run. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Whether it's what we call an even front or an odd front, and an odd front's real easy to figure out. If that guy is lined up over the nose of the center, typically that's an odd front defense. Odd number of people, meaning 3-4 versus the 4-3, which is an even front. You've got to control those guys in the middle. Whether it's the nose or the two defensive tackles in a four-man front, if those guys can't get moved, you cannot run the ball in the middle of the field. And in that play, they were able to actually take care of business.
Garoppolo to throw on second down. And he whips that one incomplete there.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. He's got the first down. He's got a big game going right now. Already over 100 yards receiving in this first half alone. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
It's caught inside the 25. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Touchdown pass number 4 of the afternoon for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the 49ers add on to their lead. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the
rush coming, and he's taken down.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. They run it with Carson. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Wilson. He hits Baldwin right side. Fancy footwork at the 45. Doug Baldwin, 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin, 85 yards. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit. Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT, and that will get him one closer. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
They'll find Goodwin here on the right side. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 23 yards on the play. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Yeah, everyone dialed in. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his second week of the regular. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Marquise Goodwin from 17 yards out. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
So that drive, 4 plays. And it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more. Try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On second down, here's Wilson. And the tight end Olsen, right side. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Here's Wilson on third down. A dump off for Davis. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Throwing on first is Garoppolo. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. Marquise Goodwin, 79 yards. And the 49ers continue to roll. And that, boys and girls, is an NFL record 6th touchdown reception. The record has stood since 1950. What a game.
How about that? Because so many things have to go right in order for it to happen. Not just him catching the passes, someone delivering it accurately, offensive line giving him time to throw the ball. A true team record, but he stands above it because he was on the receiving end of so many great plays.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Tyler Lockett with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6.
Well, that touchdown certainly helps, but they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half, and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in the second, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the second quarter strong. A little bit of time left. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. There's Dante Pettis as his guys head back out onto the field, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defense, is getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And got his man, complete. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Dante Pettis, his third touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers, they're just pouring it on.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And a rout is on here in this first half. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Looking to throw on second down. Wilson. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in the cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And they've got the hook up. This is Olsen. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Now the Seahawks forced to use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. From midfield now, here's Wilson. Over the middle, he gets it to Patterson. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Again, Wilson. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. And the Seahawks on third down. They've been really good, converting 7 of their 10 tries. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Throwing again here, Wilson. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. to the INT. It's Garoppolo. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 23 yards on the play. Garoppolo, pretty amazing. 14 of 16 throwing the ball. It's 1st and 10. Garoppolo looks to throw. And he's caught right at the 10-yard line. And with a clock reading zeros, he is into the end zone. What an exclamation mark to the end of this second quarter.
Indeed. Indeed.
And they extend their lead, a little added cushion into the lockers. What a way to finish.
Tremendous way. That's momentum that they carry in with them. Can they convert it?
An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is, don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. On second down, here's Garoppolo. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. The 12 yards that time and picking up the first.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack. And guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Right back to him on first down. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
One, Omaha. Hey, 50's a mine. 50's a mine.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that's going to lead to a third down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here's Garoppolo to throw. Goodwin able to hold it in. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one goes for 24 yards. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting them in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be third and about a foot or 2. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Now McKinnon. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, at some point, these defenders absolutely have to say, we've just got to make a stand. We've had enough of this.
Giving up a lot of points in this game, but looked better on that play. He's going to get it running right. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Jerick McKinnon taking it in from 2 yards out. And the 49ers continue to roll. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up, never even got to it.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the 2nd half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the 2nd?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the 2nd half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's Carson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Then he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats?
21,
you and me, trying to get to the airport. The roads will be fairly clear
that
by the time we have to leave the booth.
A handoff to Breida to begin the drive. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down.
Another good run there, and now we're seeing an offense that's imposed its will on a defense. When we talk about that all the time, what does it really mean? It means that the guys on the offensive line, they feel like they can do whatever they want. They're in the huddle saying, run it again. Give us another chance to smack someone and create some space. On the defensive side of the ball, now
there he goes right side. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A big play there. 62 yards. And the 49ers, they're just pouring it on. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Bailey got the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together all their positions, then coming to...
And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Eric Armstead in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they left little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Now it's Carson. 8 yards here, so that gets him back within striking distance. And now it's 3rd down.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Wilson throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play. And it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just given him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And
across the chalk into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. Dante Pettis, 79 yards. And the 49ers continue to roll.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Oh, and now he bowls him over. He's got the lane, and there he goes. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Seahawks are able to at least knock this deficit down a bit. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
When he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness, the burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, Good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's had a touchdown for every quarter so far. 3 here in the third, and probably hoping he's not done yet.
And this is a situation where it's okay to be greedy. When you've already scored 3 times, you want 4, you want more than that. And guess what? That only helps your team.
Yeah, so far, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they take over already 5 yards deep into the red zone at the 15-yard line. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, it looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Well, yes, that's his 3rd touchdown catch, which is very impressive, but on the scoreboard, they're still struggling.
So safe to say that without him, my goodness, yikes, they are in major league trouble. He's doing his best to try and keep them in the game.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
No, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
I know anytime you watch a team run the ball really well, there's some pinball effect, people bouncing off of each other. There's also some things of beauty in there, and you see these nice, explosive, strong runs. And this guy, he knows how to carry the football really well and continually.
And he's into the clear. Past the 20. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. A great effort there. 64 yards. And the 49ers, they're just pouring it on. Bailey now for the extra point.
When you know you've got a home run hitter on your side of the ball, and you know that he can score from anywhere on the field, it usually inspires the rest of the guys to do their jobs even better. That resulted in a lot of great blocks downfield because they knew if they gave him space, he could do exactly what he did, put the ball in the end zone.
Extra point up and good by Bailey, and that will extend this big lead. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
And this is a blowout so far as we get set. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, Davis. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them.
And the Niners get there and bring him down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And he fields it cleanly. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. And San Francisco gets set to go here. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open. Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz.
And a loose football, and the Seahawks have recovered. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Following the fumble recovery, Wilson. Flushed out right, and he'll go down right around the 47 this time.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. It's caught. Baldwin. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Brock Coyle coming in hard on the blitz. He gets him down for a loss of 4.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
To throw is Wilson. To throw on 2nd down. It's caught. Lockett. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. A good pickup there. 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. On 3rd and 1, Wilson. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And Vinatieri's kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player.
And he loses the football a 2nd time. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they're going to be set up in the red zone at the 15.
It's not exactly round and round we go, but I'm looking at the poor defenses. All right, back-to-back possessions. The ball's turned over.
Back-to-back plays.
I mean, just that quickly.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
They had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
Gone! Here we go now. Clean it.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That goes for a gain of 31. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Running game working, they'll stick with it on first down. Heck of a move, and then brought down near the 23. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead, first down, fourth quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back. But 8 yards on first down puts them back on their heels.
It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A great play there. Taking it in from 14 yards out. And the 49ers continue to roll.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know that plenty of people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
On 2nd down, Wilson. And complete this one to Patterson. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
First down, Seahawks, Wilson to Baldwin.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it's a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And that's incomplete.
I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. There's Wilson to throw. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender. Made him
what do you mean by that, Bert?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Now Wilson on first down. Over to the right side, caught by Moncrief. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. To throw again is Wilson. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Patterson. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. And the tight end Olsen, right side. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Third and long. It's Wilson. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
Now a toss play. It's Breida. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter, in the zone, the ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today. That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They'll toss it to Breida. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. Back to throw Beathard. Oh, look at that, a diving catch. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Now they'll run it on the toss. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds.
Leopard! Leopard! Hey, 4 down.
They run again with Breida. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them. The Niners on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
Beathard. They'll find Goodwin here on the right side. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling, but inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for San Francisco, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Dallas Cowboys next week. Meanwhile, for Seattle, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale to take on the Cardinals.